Welcome to Dragon Quest Builders 2 Weekly. Before we even get started, I found something interesting in my work between episodes, and let's just go to that clip. Hello everyone, it's past me by the time you're seeing this in the next episode. So, I was out here just looking for some stone. There it is. And I remembered this place. The little window that we could see into before. I tried a rusty wrecking ball. Blew up the vines, but couldn't get any further. I found a little place I could go in here. But I couldn't get any further. There's a block here that I still cannot hammer. So, I was just kind of messing around and I came over here. Found another rock just now. And I found a spot here that I could dig in. Didn't go anywhere, but I used the bigger bash, which is when you're using your hammer, you press square on the PlayStation. I don't know about other platforms. And I noticed it broke some wall up here. So we're in. Let's take a look. Oh, I had to put a stairway here to get back out. There we go. Okay. Not that one, but this one. That piece right there. Okay. So we come in here. We see there's some crates and ropes and a magnet to move this, which, sure enough, I can't break it. There's a grave down here. That's what we could see from the window. In fact, there's the window itself. I kind of want to dig under the grave to see what's down there, but I also feel like it's not the right thing to do. So I'm gonna see if I can gather some more information before we go digging up any graves. Okay. Ooh, a library. Wow, look at all the books. As I'm looking at the walls. Look at the books. It's just a wall. Me and my camera. Okay, there's another magnet over here. Does that just close the door? Kind of almost traps me in here, huh? Oh. I could, well, it's not letting me sleep. I guess it's not a complete room. Okay, let's see what the book says. Pulls together. Yeah, makes sense. Attraction, huh? Oh, this is just explaining magnets. Okay. Oh, but am I going to be able to make... Oh, wow. Okay. So I can't read the stacks, but there's one more on the table here. Pull me, push you. Well, I'll have to find the other book. Ooh. Okay. Nice. So we'll be able to make and customize. Can be camouflaged to look like other blocks. Can't change their appearance. Sweet. Okay, that'll be fun to play with. Oh, I don't want to talk to you right now, Maroth. I was trying to read these papers on the floor. Well, I found the one book. Is this the other one? Yes, there we go. This should be pretty straightforward. We're just going to learn the push. Or is it pull? Whichever one the blue one is. I've already lost track. Push, yeah. Side up and down. That gives us all 6 faces that we can use. And then there's a pestle and mortar, some other stuff. Huh. Interesting. I don't suppose... Oh, I can break them now. Well, in that case, I think I'll help myself to some magnetic blocks. Huh. Well, anyway, I'm going to end the clip there. I just wanted to share this little exploration with you guys. I'm going to have a lot to show in the next episode, so look forward to that. I'll see you soon. Alright, now that we've seen the interesting find, I'm going to go ahead and load up the save file like we always do. And oh boy, do I have a lot to show. I went absolutely nuts over the course of the past week. Yeah, I'm excited for everyone to see. Now that's interesting. Somebody made like what's that? I want to say Javalia or Nescafe. It's like a Keurig, but the other brand. Cool. That's pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and give that one a like, because that's really creative. Alright, so first things first, I just came here and talked to this guy, the good old Harry Hermit, and he unlocked the next story island for me, Moonbrook. We're not ready to go there yet. So, first of all, I'm going to show you guys something very, very silly that I did. Whoops. Yeah, that's good enough. I could teleport over here, but where's the fun in that? Do you see it? I was trying to figure out if there was any way to move the tablet. Don't think there is, but you can make it levitate. See? He's floating. Random hole there. So, oh, I just got some new music from mini metals that I turned in. Let me get some of this chert out so I can at least be able to read this tablet when I want to. We'll make a little staircase up to it. And what the heck? We'll actually throw on some stairs. There we go. So I am one tablet target away from the magic pencil. I have a merchant actively selling items. And, well, passively selling items, I should say, for me. And as soon as a few more items sell, I should have that last tablet target that I need for the magic pencil. Alright. So, the pyramid, right? It was pretty sparse last time everyone saw it. You might see from here I've done a little more work on my oasis. And actually, this isn't quite where I thought I was at. I want to come in through the pathway that leads from Green Gardens. First of all, I cleared out this area for the most part. There's a couple little weeds left. and made and used as many woody goodies as I could. I ran out of acorns, so I'm going to need to look up where to farm acorns. But I want to fill in this. You see on the mini map where it's all sandy, and then there's some forest. I want to fill it in so it's all forest. And then do like a path through the woods, over the river, to Green Gardens from the oasis in the pyramid. I think that would be pretty nice. You know, a pathway and like maybe cut through the mountain here, or even just do a pathway up. Hereabouts, and then bridge over the river. I think that would look pretty good. And then once we get over the river, of course there's Green Gardens over there, which I have been neglecting terribly. Oh, I'm desperately short on rock all the time, and there's some rock here. Now that I can break them, I shall. Alright, so I relocated a few people over here. I got my farmers back over here, back to work. They've been picking strawberries and wheat for me. I got my chickens, my cow. I left this dude over here because I figure maybe he can guard them a little bit. Monsters don't seem to spawn where your player is not. Or, perhaps more accurately, the monster mobs only spawn wherever your player character is. So, as long as I'm not over here too much, I'm not worried about monster attacks. Ooh, more rocks. Previously, I just moved these rocks around because I liked them as decorations, but I do need the stone for crafting. I need to make a lot more tiles, and they require stone. I am stubbornly leaving stones in the river because I like the look of rocks underwater. Oh, there's another chest. I've been trying to take out these chests because I always forget to remove them after construction is done. And my NPCs end up running around and putting all sorts of material in them that I don't want in them. Or, more correctly, material that I want to use elsewhere. Okay, so I can't make... Well, I can make. I just haven't made another bath yet for my bathhouse back at the pyramid. We'll do that real quick before I move on. But first, I need to show off all the crazy work at the pyramid. Oh, more rocks. I've been putting the Transformo trowel to good use, finally. I have more or less mastered the art of using it to swap out ground tiles. So that's been really helpful. Thanks to everyone who's commented on that. Especially those of you, which is all of you, who are patient with me as I learn these mechanics. Total Noob to Minecraft plays a Minecraft spin-off. Limps through it in a tragically inefficient manner. Commenters remain cool. Thank you. Okay, there's the tunnel. Oh, hey, there's a little passage down there too. That's got me curious. I'll have to check that out another time. Alrighty, so theoretically speaking, we've come through the woods. And we turn the corner. Ah, and there's an ant. Anyway, and we see a path. And a sign. Pyramid Resort. Yes, I have turned the area mostly into a resort. And it's kind of nice. Look at this hotel. Was one of the side requests was to build a hotel. To Pyramid Gardens that way. Back here. To Green Gardens. You know. Let's have a look inside. Got my reception room here. Some nice wall decorations just to keep it from looking completely bland. Each room right now only has a light and 2 beds, so that it counts as a small basic bedroom. And I've got 4 of those. They're all identical, so I'm not going to show you the other 3. Take my word for it. They all have a window, and then there's some nice big connecting windows out here. If you come out the back door of the inn, you go down into the inn garden. Yeah, isn't that nice? And there's some fountains over here. In fact, if you can look out the window here and look out over the fountains. Wait for the camera. There we go. The oasis I basically just bordered in. I have these walkways going just about everywhere. Oh, speaking of mobs of monsters. There we go. Okay. Anyway, this pathway comes from this staircase, comes on down. This sign just lets you know there's a hotel to your right, over there. I like these signs. This one just says Hotel Oasis. And then it spawns bunnicorns in there, so don't feed bunnicorns. I wanted to say do not feed the bunnicorns, kind of like the classic joke or gag or whatever about do not feed the bears from, well, the joke is from Yogi Bear, an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, but it's a real thing too. Like when you go to national forest parks, there's often signs that are like, do not feed the wildlife, and sometimes it straight up says, do not feed the bears. So, you know, it's good advice. Don't normalize human interaction with wild animals. It's dangerous. Just real quick over here to the tablet. I lined up some flowers to look really nice. Nothing fancy over at the tablet. I just kind of made a little area for it and some stairs so I don't have to jump all the time. I have lots of new targets unlocked. As you can see here, sell something is at 47 of 100. Okay. That's weird. Huh. I thought I had another tablet target that was much closer than 47 of 100 for selling. I guess not. That's okay. Okay, once again my cat is in here with me. Give me just a moment while I let her out of the room. Okay, it's been a little damp and rainy out here where I live, so the cat likes to be inside these days. I don't blame her at all. She's old, she's almost 11. Not like super old, but don't blame a older kitty for not wanting to be out in the cold and the rain, you know? Even if it does interfere with my recording a little bit, I don't mind that much. There's one white flower over here because I did the wrong thing one time. I used the wrong food, or no, it was the right food but the wrong soil type, so it turned into the other type of earth, which you can see this is light green grass, and over here You know what? Did I make this like green grass too? It's like lemon grassy earth and grassy earth. Lemon grassy comes from sand, and grassy comes from like dirt, soil, spoiled soil, that kind of thing. So yeah. Get rid of this guy real quick. I'm hoping once I fill in some of this sand here, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it yet. If I want to make another garden or another fountain. I feel like I have enough fountains, but there's also a garden right there. Maybe I'll do like an outdoor pool. I don't know. I'll think about it a little longer. Anywho, so those white flowers grow on the other type of earth, but I swapped it out with a Transformo trowel and just left the one white flower there because I did. Don't have a reason. Okay, so there's a quest to put in some minecarts. So I put in some minecarts. They don't do much. They just go up the temple. I used to have my bell here. It's moved. I'll show you that in a little bit. I gotta stop at the throne room. Then we zoom around the back of the temple. Pyramid. It's not a temple. You know what I mean. There's a stop back here just in case I ever want to do any work back here. Can get there quickly. And then we zoom back down to the station. Eventually, I want to put in track from where we entered, like make that sort of a hub just coming out of the woods. Or something. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do it yet. But the track will connect once it's all said and done from Scarlet Sands. Probably over this way to the mountaintop. Maybe I should do the hub at the mountaintop, because then you could do a line to Scarlet Sands, a line to Green Gardens, a line to the beach, docks, whatever, and a line to this area, which I walked around in, but you actually can't even use your hammer up here, so I couldn't break any of the rocks. I didn't find any rocks, but I couldn't break anything up here. It's apparently story locked, so I just had to look around, fought some enemies, and got out of there. Nothing interesting, really. It's kind of snowy. Looks like you might end up building something here. I think I found the tablet. It was like here-ish, or maybe here. Whatever. Doesn't matter that much. Okay, so this took a lot of time. This outside. Made some fountains. Made some little gardens by the entrance. I'm going to make some further roads later on once I get a little more sand to fill in all that junk over there. But here's where the lion's share of my time went the last few days. The inside of my temple pyramid looks the same so far, right? Bam! 2 stories. Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. Check it out. These are bedrooms. Whoop. This is Den's room. He's got lots of brewing stuff. Because he's the barkeeper. This is... Guess whose room this is? It's my grog. Oh, perfect. He's actually messing around with the crates that I left for him. Contemplating life's mysteries by staring into the crate. I use those light blocks for lighting sources, just to make it officially bedrooms. This here is Digby's room. Got some mining equipment, pretty straightforward. And Dougie's room, same. A little bigger. The rooms at the outside wall of the pyramid have one more row of floor space. There's a ladies' dormitory over there. It's not a dormitory, but that's kind of what I call it. Apartments, maybe, is a better word. This is the one and only shared apartment. This is Lillian and Babs. I didn't feel right having Lillian be all on her own. So I put her in with somebody who I think can take care of her. Babs is awesome, right? Okay, well, hey, that was what I was seeing, was sell items and eventually you'll unlock a recipe. So that's what I was close to. Or multiple recipes, actually. Might have to make some of those for some of these rooms. Anyway, Lillian and Babs share a neat and sweet bedroom. Next door is Ordelia. Pretty Spartan, but she seems like the type who's both strong and dressy, so I gave her some workout equipment and a vanity mirror to primp at. Let's go upstairs. I redistributed workers, like I said, so there's 9 people here, and that's why there's one shared bedroom. It worked out well that the kids stayed here. This one, really straightforward. Lulu, I couldn't find much, so I just made a neat and sweet with the vanity and the flowers. I'll probably add some more flowers. Maybe some more mirrors, since she seems like the vain type. And this here is Brittany's. Some workout equipment, some storage, since she's, the guard. That's like her thing. And then some flowers, because, it just needed a splash of color to bring it all together. My atelier is gone from here. It's moved. Ooh, look at all the hearts. We got a nice dining setup here. Cooking and dining. They're like completely infatuated with eggs lately. So much so that I've been actually stealing a lot of the fried eggs for myself. I taught them how to make crispy kelp. Let's see, what's in this mushroom? Nothing. Perfect, I can put the kelp in there. And they've been self-running this enormous kitchen diner pretty well. As soon as I can get... Oh, I was going to pick up some wheat when I went back to Green Gardens. Anyway, once I get another piece of wheat, I can make... In fact, I could probably make it now because they're farming over there. A sack of wheat, which will turn this into an agricultural kitchen. My item shop. I've got some items over here. There's multiple quantities in most of these, and that's why they keep selling and selling. Back here, we have Teresa's room. She's my merchant. I picked her up in the last episode there on that RNG island. The bathrooms are unchanged. And the bathhouse is unchanged on this side. But I made a second one on the other side. And what we're going to do today is... Well, one of the things we're going to do anyway. Man, I really wish the bag could be sorted by category, because I always have such a hard time locating exactly what I want. Okay, we're going to make these into men's and women's baths. We're going to follow the same pattern as with the restroom. So ladies will be over here, and gentlemen will be over here. And what I need to do is build a second tub. I'm going to first plop it down next to the other one, which should make a different kind of bathroom. I don't like calling it bathroom because bathroom to me always implies toilet. So bathhouse, perhaps? Anyway, I should be able to unlock another room type of bathhouse. And then move that tub into the other bathroom to unlock 2 more types of bathhouse. I'm still saying bathroom, aren't I? Okay, so I heard there's reapers out and about, and I don't feel like fighting them. So what I've been doing is I didn't actually leave a room for Chrono or Malroth. I just sleep here. And Malroth can fend for himself. Rude, I know. So eventually, when I get enough stone, I want to make more of these tiles so I can fill in all the way up to the ceiling if possible, and do a second floor that has some different room types or different shops or whatever. Okay, so back to the second floor. There's a whole bunch of new stuff up here to show off. And actually, this is the last bit of new stuff. Anyway, over here I have some crafting rooms. Got an armorer's workshop here. When I start finding more ore, I'll be able to smelt and make weapons and armor, all that good stuff. In the middle is my general purpose atelier, if you will. You know, the main table. This sifting thing seemed like it fit there. And then this thing actually doesn't, like, I can't interact with it, but it's supposed to be a medicinal mortar, so I figured that was kind of appropriate for an atelier. My idiot villagers keep running up here to put eggs in these boxes. If there's a way to prevent them from doing that, please somebody let me know. I do not want them putting eggs up here. I want that to stay in the kitchen. Maybe it's not possible. I don't know. If there's another kind of chest I can use to make these count for the room type, because it requires a chest, that'd be great. Anywho, this one's a dye works. I can make dyes and paints, and I can dye things. In fact, you might have noticed the doors are blue. I dyed them blue. I like blue, and so I decided to have blue doors for my personal stuff. Over here, there's some heartwood. I'll show you that in just a second. An empty room. Thrilling. This is my colossal coffer. And oh look, they've put eggs in it. I might end up using this to store some of my junk, because like I'm on page 5 now of having like excessive items. Or community chest, I think it's called, whatever it is. Anyway, here's my town hall. Yeah, I looked up room recipes online. Shame on me. But I wanted to see if there was something I could do with the residence register. And I was like, oh, you can build a town hall. You put in a sign, the register, 3 tables, and the bell. And I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to put in the bell, I'm going to have it on a fancy arch this time. Well, the gold was fancy too, but like, this is heartwood. This is like real fancy. So, yeah, there's the town hall. I think that's it for the new stuff. Nom nom nom. Okay, let's build ourselves a bath. Here's all this new stuff I just unlocked. Get rid of those new tags because it bothers me. There it is. This is the one. That's why I was out stone collecting, by the way. Well, one of the reasons. May as well grab a few recipes while I'm in here. I've been trying to unlock these slowly over time. Excuse me, who's over there putting eggs in my box? Bear with me while I just unlock things. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to do for now. I've been trying to do these little by little as I build stuff, just so I get everything unlocked eventually. Oh, hold on. There's new medicine I can make. Oh, it's the music. That's right. Come to think of it, I should probably do that. And this. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay, nobody actually put an egg in. Good. Oh yeah, I guess I could make almost infinite copper and silver now. I just have to make sure I have coal. I did go back to the RNG island we visited last time. It's a good place to gather stone, so I went back there just to harvest some stone. Nothing exciting happened. By the way, I did find out there are only 2 super strong monsters on that Explorer's Shore RNG island. So I got everything that I wanted to get there. I just didn't realize it. And yes, I did get a cow, another cow, as you saw after I ended the episode. Okay. So let's see what happens when I do this. Nothing. Huh. I thought it was supposed to be 2 baths, 2 towel rails. Well, that's okay. Because we're still going to do this. Boop. That should give me a second rustic bathroom. Maybe? What have I done wrong? Why am I not? Huh. That's odd. Tell you what, let's dig. Let's see if I missed. Nope. Wondering if there's... Oh, that's from outside. No, there doesn't seem to be any blocks missing. Huh. Now that's weird. Because I know it counts as a room, so... Should be. Oh, you know what? Aha! I don't have enough wash tubs in the second room. Back to the atelier we go. Slight downside of having the atelier upstairs is this up and down. But really it's only up. Let me show you what I mean. Whoop. Hey, look at that. And we're back where we need to be. Silly me thinking I could scrimp on the wash tubs. I want them all facing the same way. There we go. Now I'm happy with it. Okay, and now we do this. I guess it's not a completely different room type. But we will have the dudes use one and the ladies use one. And actually, I don't think I need these on the outside now that I see it. Because you can see from the doorway pretty clearly. And there's a privacy screen. You'll just be able to see peeking over the top there. If somebody's taking a bath. Alright, let's go to the hammer, grab these off the wall, tuck them away. Alright, well, I think that is what I wanted to show off. Pretty darn proud of how it's coming along. It is, of course, a work in progress. I'm not done with it yet. Not even close, but I like how it's going. And good old Goldie Rocks up there. I'm so glad I used the Goldie Noggin. It looks so good. Like, it might not match color-wise, but I don't care. I wonder if I could use the Transformo trowel to swap those all out with gold someday. Or if I even want to. Oh, I know what I was going to do, which I think I'll probably do between episodes, is either over here, possibly here, or maybe... Ooh. Maybe out here in this area. I could do open air. Den has been asking me to build a bar. I could make a bar and get him brewing some Digger's Jigger. And that might be a good use of this space. Have an outdoor open air bar. Cocktails by the Oasis, anyone? Alright. Let's be expeditious about this. What I want to do today is an RNG island. We are already more than a half hour in. So... This is interesting about Moonbrook. Okay, so he'll do it. He's just gonna grump about it. Anyway, we're a half hour in. I know I don't have time to do all of the RNG island, nor do I have time particularly to do... well, I don't want to go to Moonbrook because I want to do this one before Moonbrook. Doesn't look like I can go back to Prison Island right now, but I'm hoping that one reopens later. I forgot to get the guillotine before I left, so I missed out on that item unless it reopens. Oh yeah, this is the usual stuff that he always says. Okay, well, we are going to see how far we get into this RNG island, this Explorer's Shore. I really should start saying Explorer's Shore instead of RNG Island because that's what it is. Hey, that's pretty clever too. Give that a like. All right. So here's something that you guys have been telling me to do that I'm gonna do. Let's find some junk blocks. A light dolomite I have an absolute pile of. Clawed stone, spoiled soil. Well, I know for sure that I can turn the spoiled soil into good grass later. So let's get dolomite for now. I can use the trowel now that I've actually figured this thing out. I'm getting some chalk, yes, but I'm also getting, this is the grassy earth. Yeah, and then I can use this back on Awakening to fill in wherever I want to be grassy without having to make worm food or woody goodies all the time. Okay, let's head over to the island proper. This looks like the far shore. Sick Malroth on some rocks. Malroth on some Roths. Oh, we're getting coal. Infinite coal here. That's good. Oh, the slimes are going to gang up on me. nothing. Malroth has gone herring off on his own, it seems. I really shouldn't be grabbing rocks since I'm tight on time for the episode here. But, like, I need rocks. I gotta build lots of tile. Then again, another little minor spoiler I got when I was looking up this and that. Not a story spoiler, so I'm okay with it, but apparently one of the Explorer's Shore islands after Moonbrook, lost my train of thought, lets you get infinite rock, infinite stone, whatever. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been terribly congested the last couple days. I'm actually recording this literally a week ahead of time, so by the time I see that you see this, hopefully I'm completely recovered, but I think I've got a low-grade sinus infection going on. I've been, thankfully not today, but the past couple days I've been feeling like I've been kicked in the teeth. Like, I'm not exaggerating. If you've ever been kicked, you know that moment of impact where there's like a shock of pain before the pain sets in? Imagine if that shock of pain lasted like 20 minutes and was in your teeth. Yeah, sinus pressure was doing that to me. It's literally the worst migraine I've ever had. 9 out of 10 on the pain scale. So yeah, that was a fun start to my week. But fortunately, my company recognizes President's Day, so I got a 3-day weekend to recover from that. The symptoms were happening to me Thursday and Friday, and now I'm recording this on Saturday. First day in 3 days without the headache. Yeah, and I've got tomorrow and Monday to recover. I will say, although I had that headache, I was able to take a decongestant and get rid of it, or at least get it low enough to work. So I didn't have to miss any work, which was nice. Anyway, that story literally has no point, just to kind of fill some of the space while I'm looking around here. So far I've only been looking on the beaches. I should be looking at other places, like... Oh! There's some underground stuff. Okay. Also, I need to find one of those round little cacti. I see some sunflowers. I'm gonna assume it wants me to... Oops. Well, I won't be checking those ones. At least not specifically. Oh, stony soil. Nice. Okay. I see I need arid earth, so I know I will recognize arid earth when I see it. There's some right here. Also, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a super strong monster over there, I think. That guy probably counts as super strong. Gobble some food. Put my cursor on the herb. Let's go. Okay, he's not a super strong. He's just really big. Hit me, bro. I don't care. Got max defense, really good armor, and a whole bunch of healing items. I will literally tank this while Malroth DPSs for me. Okay, that's not cool. Fortunately, I had that Yggdrasil leaf, but like he had me stun locked in that corner. I could not jump away. So now I know this guy's attacks are worth avoiding. At least his charged attacks. Oh, shoot. Nope, 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 nope. Do not want. Yeah, you be a silly tornado man over there. Let's go. Boom. Goes the dynamite. Ah, medicinal leaf. Not an excuse me, not an Yggdrasil leaf to replace, but that's okay. Some pampas grass. Pampas? Pampa? I don't know how that's pronounced. Here's some bananas. No, sweet corn. Looks like bananas. Bananas grow in trees, huh? I'm smart, I promise. I just don't always demonstrate it. Poker face. Oh, there's cats on this island. That's awesome. I think I will probably get a cat next time I come here. Or maybe before I leave. Certainly not right now. Chili peppers. Ooh, there's a king slime over there. I'm gonna go kill it. Let's free up some of my hotbar here. Okay. Yeah. Are these guys aggro or are they chill? They're chill. Nope, they're aggro. They're just calm. Alright, well, as they hilariously translated in Dragon Quest Monsters 1, in one of the dungeons, if you pick the right doors and go get to fight the king slime, they say, you'll feel like a king with the jiggle joggle. So it's time to feel like kings with the jiggle joggle. I'm assuming it was a more clever double entendre in Japanese, because honestly that was kind of lame. Translations back then were wild. Also very limited character space being on the Game Boy Color. Sometimes you just had to do what you could fit. Alright, this is going pretty well. I'm being very, whoops, spammy. I was going to say liberal with the healing herbs here, but it turned into spam. Mashed square a little too fast. This guy's easy. Lots of HP, but his attacks are easy to avoid. His basic attack, I'm letting him just hit me, but those special attacks, like one step and you're out of the way. Easy peasy. Also, I see a jewel bag over there to the left in the water. I think that might be another either super strong or large monster. Avoided. And we are done here. Yeah. Too bad I didn't need the experience. Ooh. Oh. A cloak of evasion, and it can be dyed. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna see what colors I can make that. You know what? I do at least need to get a cat for one of my checklists here. Okay, that's fine. Not seeing much in the way of stuff I'm interested in straight ahead. I need to go back for those caves and mushroom. I never got one of those cacti. There we go. There's one. Okay. Just get this guy before he gets me. I don't know what this stuff is, but my can has siltstone. Oh, whoops. May as well grab a little bit of it while I'm here. Doing this somewhat haphazardly because I really don't care. Just want to build up maybe like a couple hundred. And the arid earth I can always use too. That'll do for now. Okay, that jewel bag. Preempting this guy. Pretty sure we're over an hour now. But what can you do? Oh! The two super strongs were right next to each other. Oh. Yes, let's dance. Can I lure this thing out of the water, maybe? That would be nice. Oops. Malroth. Why? Well, I know why, but why? Why, bro? Okay, here we go. At the very least, if I stand up here, I can swing my sword much faster. Okay. Ooh, 1100. That was good. Let's see. So the controls are reversed. It's pretty easy to get around. I have myself positioned really well, so even if I get confused, it doesn't matter. You got me with the dancing, though. I didn't have a cure. No cowbells on hand. And we all know the only cure is more cowbell. Alright. What do we got down there? Goodie bag statue. Ooh. Well, I definitely have enough chili peppers. Let's go get some mushrooms checked off the list. This looks like a good place to start. Tally-ho! I see some vine apples and such down here too. Ooh, that's a nice little vein of oops. Coal. Just got a little distracted there is all. This seems like a really good chance to use some of these. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. Check that off our list first, of course. Now, run. Oh, this is how I ended up with so many junk blocks in the first place. Why am I collecting these? Obsessive compulsion? Don't call me out like that. self. Oh, I thought these were going to be items. Those are enemies. Very weak ones at that. Alright. Well, the Rusty Wrecking Ball was hilarious, but not necessary. So I'm going to do it again. Look at all this coal that I barely missed. That's funny. Can I get it in one hit? Yes, sir. Although I shouldn't be collecting coal. Now that I think about it, that's a very silly thing to do because I'm going to be unlocking infinite coal. Well, good night. Thank you, pointlessly fast respawns. Aha, that is a slime. Okay, we're still looking for more mushroom. This looks interesting. What the heck do we have here now? Big hit. Boom. Huh, I think we're close to the surface. Sand. Okay, well, we got vine apples and shine apples. Is there there's not a third one on the list. Those are blue mushrooms. More ghosts. Alright, just here. That'll do it. Yep, I thought that would do it. Apparently he's just out of range of the light. There. Not even worried about those Reaper dudes. Not worried about fighting them, I should say. Because been max level for a while now. There's no point in actually killing them. They don't ever seem to drop anything that I care about. If they did, then sure, I'd fight them, try to get the drops, but even that is not alluring. Okay. In retrospect, I really should have brought my new buddy along with me who can fly, but I didn't think we were going to have more sheer cliff stuff. What monster has 6 legs and a lion's head? Oh, I know this one. There's a monster. I want to say, I don't know if it's been translated as anything else, but King Leo. This is the Builderdom's Best? The heck is this? Is this something that I need to see from far away? There's a door. Hello. Get back at you. You're very cute too. Yep, you're coming with me. I definitely need to find some dudes on these RNG islands. Like, it's all ladies. Which isn't a bad thing, but, like, I want to keep something of a balance, if I can. Man, this is a very, cramped living space. Quite thoughtful and, you know, well put together, but not much space to move around. Is that a dumbwaiter? Oh my goodness, how clever. Or is it supposed to be a fridge? Either way. Oh, mushrooms. Haven't seen those in a while. Okay. Is that like... Oh, you are supposed to look at it from a ways away. Okay. There we go. Look at that 6-legged sphinx. Ish. Sphinx-esque creature. Malroth, you can lay off the grass, buddy. I don't mean that as a sly reference to anything. I mean, you're attacking the grass that I have an infinite supply of. I don't need it. I heard a cat. Oh, it's all the way down there. Preempt. So I know these guys are aggro. I've seen them back on the Isle of Awakening. The fat rats. Ooh, do I need... I don't see bones on my checklist, so... I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Maybe I can just avoid fighting him entirely. Hammerhoods. Okay, well. Oh, I see a big golem over there. Should we go check it out? Oh, and there's another way down there. Oh, that one's not a slime. Okay. I did fight a silver golem on the other RNG island, but it did not decide to give me a chance to give it monster munchies, so I was not able to recruit it. I'd really like to. Okay, hammers aren't very effective. Whoa, wrong button. There we go, there we go. I'd really like to recruit one of these guys, because they can apparently do that. And that's a good way to harvest lots of blocks real quick when I need something like sand or earth. And don't feel like fiddling with the transforma trowel. Ooh. Didn't quite get out of the way of that one. I figure if I stand back as far as Malroth or further, then I'm out of range of his attacks. Big dramatic finish. Oh, heck yeah. What's up? We got a golem. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm excited. Look at this guy. Oh, that is sweet. Oh, I'm so excited. What's your... Yes. Okay, you're gone. Holy cow. Bust out the flex tape, Grandma. That's a lot of damage. What's that you say? You want some earth? Jeez. That's like as much as one of those, what you call it? The explosive rusty wrecking balls. Wow. Okay, well. I am grinning like a fool. I know you can't see that over the microphone. Not seeing any of the other mushrooms that I need down here. Probably gonna have to go to another part of the island for that, huh? Okay. He's big and powerful, but he gets stuck on single elevation increases, which is hilarious to me. But also I know that if I do this, my party will magically follow me out. Alright. Animal, where? There it is. Aww. He's doing some flippy floppies in the sand. Okay, we gotta walk real slow and quiet. Hello. Okay, even if this cat ends up... I hate to say it, but even if this cat ends up dying before we get back, I've got it on the checklist now. So that, at least, that much is good. Why don't we go ahead and hop on the golem here? Yeah, getting stuck on single elevation increases is definitely irritating, but I'll take it for the other ridiculous things that Golem now allows me to do. Okay, we got some stuff to see here. A fern, yep. A palm tree, yep. Gladiolus. A lily pad looking thing. Fan fern. Nothing too interesting drops from the fan fern. Just dried grass, which again I have infinite supply of, so no big deal. Okay. Looks like I've already been hereabouts. Let's take a look at the map. I'm gonna have to go underground somewhere else. So, let's try a different approach. First of all, we'll get on Stampy here. Yes, that's a Simpsons reference. No, he's not an elephant. I understand. It just popped into my head. Yo, can I break this stuff with him? Okay. What an absolute Chad. Dang. This is wild. Absolutely wild. I'm gonna start ignoring some of these blocks. My OCD can just deal with it. Not that again, I've said this before, but I don't have like diagnosed OCD. I just feel like I obsess compulsively over a lot of things, especially when it comes to video games. Okay. Well, this is really not what I had in mind. Not sure where else to go underground that would be any different. I was thinking under these mountains maybe, but am I gonna have to dig for it? Am I gonna have to climb for it? Anybody want some cactus juice? It's the quenchiest. Ooh, that looks promising. Let's go. It's just the same old down here, isn't it? What's over this way? Oh. Oh, this is a nice big open cavern. And yet somehow still not what I'm really looking for. Like, where am I supposed to find those big mushroom pieces, especially if I can't find anything like deeper caverns than this? Well, anyway, I've been going for far too long, so I think this is right about where I'm going to round things off. I'm going to keep going and finish this RNG island, and I'll let you guys know how that goes in the next episode, of course. I don't expect anything too thrilling. I think we're just going to have a pretty standard expedition from here. The real exciting stuff already happened of getting the golem. So yeah. Did I need... No, I don't need to examine that one. Let me just get to somewhere where I feel like I'm out of danger. And I'll do the spiel. So yes, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. That helps the video get seen and the channel to grow. If you'd like to see more content like this, consider subscribing. I upload episodes of Dragon Quest Builders 2 once a week on Saturdays, and I do PS1 JRPGs on Tuesday and Thursday, right now Legend of Dragoon. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications of when I upload a new video. And other than that, once again, thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you again in the next one. Bye. Just a quick addendum to this episode. I got through the RNG island, and we all made it back to the dock. I even picked up a cat. Yeah, literally around the next corner was the way down. So, yeah, see you next time. Bye.